And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the True Path Entrepreneur, your guide to living your purpose and growing a business with freedom and fun. I'm your host, Beth Weinstein. I'm a transformational business coach helping current and aspiring entrepreneurs align with their true purpose and grow their business so you can help more people, profit with your passion, and have a thriving business you love working on your own terms from anywhere on earth. And today I'm really excited to be talking with my friend, Sonia Bueno de la Torre. I hope I said it right. I just came back from Peru, so my Spanish should be on point. Hey, Sonia, how are you?
I'm very well, super excited.
Great, thanks for being here. So Sonia is a self-love energy coach and helps women and men all over the world embrace their uniqueness, let go of self-judgment, and build unstoppable confidence so they can live empowered from within and in alignment with their soul. She's the author of the book, You Can Heal the World, a book of poems, You Can Heal the World, and an expert on personal and spiritual transformation. Before her work as an energy coach, she was a certified fitness instructor and co-owner of 2 fitness clubs in Germany. Her extensive body and health experience, combined with her expertise in energy work, makes her an effective and powerful high-level coach for body, mind, and spirit. Awesome, Sonia. It's really funny. I love talking to people with fitness backgrounds. So I don't know if you know this about me, but I also have a separate fitness company. So yeah, I would love to hear how you made this transition, from the fitness world and owning your own clubs into this amazing work that you do as an energy and self-love coach for men and women.
Yeah. Well, that's too long of a story, but I'm going to keep it short.
Yeah.
First of all, of course, like you did, my name was pretty nice, and it's Sonia Bueno de la Torre, and then I have a German accent. So sometimes people get a little confused. So I am Spanish, but I grew up in Germany, and that's why I have that accent.
Wow.
The question is actually pretty good because it takes me back to my story and why I transitioned and what I do for a living and for my passion. And I'm representing what you just shared, having a business that is in alignment with your soul, changing people's lives and making money with it. So that's not where I come from. And I never had the intention when I was younger to do this as a living or for a living. It was never crossed even my mind. Because looking back, I felt very bad about myself inside of myself. Like I was very self-critical. I suffered from severe depression. I literally judged myself consistently. I was in a lot of emotional pain. I never felt good enough. I was constantly comparing me with others. And to a point that I really hated myself in my life in such a painful way, that there were days that I literally wanted to take my life away because I thought I couldn't bear it anymore. So I'm sharing this because it's really important to understand that things don't happen overnight and suddenly, whoa, everything is great and I'm confident overnight and I love myself overnight. So, and seeing that from that perspective, and I wasn't in the business or in the fitness field back then. I had 2 gyms that I was running. And I was successful on the outside. However, I was extremely unhappy on the inside. And at some point, I made a decision in my life that was when I was 26, a long time ago. And I was on vacation in Thailand on a beautiful beach in an island. And I was there with my boyfriend at the time. And I was sitting there. And I remember the imagery, like the sand, the palm trees, the ocean. I was sitting there all by myself because there was no one else and he was walking somewhere. And I was thinking to myself, this should be the most beautiful and the most romantic day of my life. And the only thing I was thinking was how bad I was feeling about me, inside of me. And in that moment, I made a decision. And I said, I would do whatever it takes to love myself and turn my life around, because it's either I do that or I literally say goodbye. So that embarked me on a journey of my own healing and transformation. And it wasn't easy, of course, because I opened up that box of Pandora, like looking everything, what was going on inside of me to change that. And through that transformation, through me letting go of my judgment, learning about energy, that's the most, that made the biggest difference in my life. I slowly, after a few years that I was working on myself, felt like, oh my God, I want to give that back. That's actually, and I connected to my soul and purpose for the first time. I felt like this is what I'm meant to do here. So I skipped everything. I'm a little bit extreme. So I sold my business, gave everything away, went to India, kind of like a seeker, and I found my way through that. And at some point, I'm doing this now for a long time, but I'm so passionate about helping women and men as well to really connect to who they really are, to get in touch with it through an authentic power and confidence, because that's necessary also in order to make a difference in the world. So I try to keep it short because the story is bigger than that, but just trying to answer your question.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for sharing it. And I know a lot of listeners resonate with this. I know I do, because very much like you, when I started my other business, which is the fitness business, it was, the journey of transformation in it, which is, one of the reasons I'm doing this series, was so powerful, because when you go on the path of, following your heart and following your true purpose, there's so much that comes up around judgment and self-criticism and constant, fears of failure and like, I'm not good enough. And the comparison thing is a major issue, of course, because, you're so triggered by everything. And I know, like it took a lot of work to get past, the constant self-criticism and constant self-judgment. And I knew, like there was a light bulb moment. It's funny because I had a similar thing happen to me on a beach in Cambodia in 2011. And it was kind of like that. Like, it was like a now or never, like, this needs to change because I can't go on living like this. So I love that you shared that. And I know a lot of listeners, because I talk to people all the time. I have a lot of clients that come to me like this. We're really stuck in that cycle of the ups and downs of like trying to follow their heart or trying to start a business, or even, just trying to manifest anything they want in life, but then constantly, critiquing themselves and judging themselves. How do you guide people through getting past that? Because it's such a big issue that it seems like all humans pretty much struggle with this.
More or less, yeah. It's a great question. And I'm going to back it up in a sense, is especially also if you want to be out there and as a business person or make a difference in any way that you want it. You don't have to necessarily do that as a business person. But I think one of the most important pieces is to understand that it's not so much the outside that determines that, it's the inside that determines what you're going to do on the outside, not the other way around. And that conditioning that we have from childhood on, and the beliefs and the doubts about ourselves, I'm not good enough. I don't know one woman that I've ever worked with who had not had that belief. Like, I'm not good enough. It's not safe to be myself. And I'm afraid of speaking my truth, worried about what other people think of me, comparing. So we all get to work on that. And the first is to really realize that it's the inner work that will get you the outer result. The best way to do this, especially if you are embarking into, if you have your own business or if you want to have a business, is to have both. Real good business coaching, but only business coaching alone is not going to help you to release that, because that's not what they're focused on. And you often know what to do, don't you? You often know what to do, but you don't do it. You self-sabotage, and it happens completely unconscious. And on an energetical level, what you get to do is to do the work so that you open up, you peel off the layers of that stuff that's preventing you from being in your authentic power, the beliefs, the inner critic, the comparison, learning how to set boundaries, learning how to feel safe in this world, to speak your truth and really make a difference. You want to feel confident. You want to feel real confidence, or real being in your power means that you know it even when other people don't see it. You know it, and you trust yourself regardless of what anyone else says. And that's not going to happen overnight. However, that's the biggest liberation for yourself first, and your inner freedom, your inner happiness, your inner light that starts to shine is what makes the impact and the difference. And then you can overcome your resistance in a bigger way, because resistance is always going to be part of it. And I still, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. Yeah. I'm not perfect. I mean, my life is great. However, I deal with all the same stuff still. However, how I deal with it and having that innate feeling of knowing who I am, knowing why I'm here for, and being able to do it despite of it, that's the difference. So just in a nutshell, like the inner, like you get to do the inner work. And one of the things that I hear a lot, and I'm sure Beth, you too, and when it comes to, okay, what to do, what it means is you invest in yourself, not only time-wise and energy-wise, money-wise. And often because that relates and triggers the same belief of I'm not good enough, you know, you generally don't have enough. Or you have these underlying issues of who am I to do that? You would spend hundreds of dollars every month on your car or on whatever else, on your kitchen. I just had someone remodeling her kitchen for $10,000. And I was like, seriously? And then you are doubting working on yourself and investing that money on you. That's the most important vehicle in your life. So there's such a flow logic. So that gets triggered as well. And so then they often don't feel confident and trust yourself. And that's why you do have to do the work even more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree completely. And it's so funny how many people I've interviewed, and you know, it's the same, similar themes come up about how much the inner work is more important than any kind of marketing or business or sales. I mean, because it does all start with us on the inside. And I agree with you completely. Even as a business coach, I have multiple coaches. I have, you know, a spiritual guide. I work with energy healers. I work with everybody. And if I hadn't done all that work over the years, it basically, all the marketing in the world would be useless, because it is all about, you know, having that confidence, being authentic, having your voice heard, and, you know, letting go of self-judgment, letting go of, you know, what will other people think? Like that journey in itself is so challenging. Like, you know, and like you just said, like, I'm not perfect. There's always the next level, right? The next level of getting over the next level of resistance, you know, like growth resistance, money resistance, you know, investing in yourself at a higher level is like, I up level it every year, and it's always scary, but then it always proves to be so worth it. And it just keeps taking the life, you know, life is expansive. So I love that you're talking about this, because I really think everybody needs to know about it.
Yeah. And it's also what I'm saying, like, it seems like, oh my God, it's so hard work. And it's, yeah, it is work. Like, I'm always very transparent.
Yeah.
People who with me closely are committed to really transform their lives, and deep transformation doesn't happen overnight. However, you know, it's not that, oh my God, doom and gloom, hard work. It's like, it's the most liberating, the most fulfilling, the most, you know, rewarding thing you can do. And just to give one thing to say about the self-love pieces, of the being yourself when it comes to business, you are the most important person in your life, period. There's only one person in your life that's always going to be there from the beginning of time until the end. And that person is you. No one, not your children, not your parents, not your spouse, not your dog, no one will ever spend as much time with you than yourself. Take that in for a moment. It's like, and who is the most important relationship that you want to take care of and nurture and heal and grow with? It's you, that relationship within yourself. And I often hear, yeah, but that's so selfish. I want to take care of other people. Yeah, it has nothing to do with selfishness. You can only be really a good caretaker and really make an impact and really give when you give here. So I just, you know, I can be very passionate about this.
Yeah, no, I love it. And it's because it's true. It's completely true what you're talking about. And again, I know a lot of people listening might be like, well, what is that? But there is a journey. It is a journey. It's not overnight. I mean, it's still every day. It's training. Like, I find I'm constantly, you know, I've never felt this level of living where I'm at now, like this level of self-love, but there's constant voices in our head that comes up and then critiques, and, you know, you're not good enough, or this isn't enough, or you're not making enough. And it's like always wants more. But you're right. Like, you know, the self-love and the self, you know, I always say it's like compassion for yourself, compassion for your journey, especially in entrepreneurship. Because to me, you know, I've done this multiple times now, and I've had a crazy, fulfilling, adventurous life. And the entrepreneurship journey there's nothing like it. That, to me, it's the most transformational thing there is, because so much of these voices come up, and so many questions and judgments. Now, I have a question for you, because I know a lot of listeners, and I have a lot of clients that come to me for this. they are out there, let's say, living a life that they don't love, you know, in a job that they don't like, or you know, maybe just really feeling unfulfilled in their life's work. And they know there's something more. They know they have a bigger purpose. And a lot of times it really does, you know, it comes to like working for themselves, or everybody wants more freedom because we're all waking up and realizing like this is, you know, it's our only life and we do want freedom. What do you say to clients? I'm sure you have some clients that come to you and they start to realize this is one of their biggest struggles, is they're just really unfulfilled in their work. How do you help people through this? Like, any tips for this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and it's a very simple question again, a simple answer to that question. And most people that come to me have done work already. So I'm more the person that takes people deeper. So when something is missing, so they have an awareness and consciousness that it's in them and it's not the outside.
Yeah.
So, but when you are in that space and you know, hey, I'm really struggling, I'm not happy where I am, I want to make a change, the first thing you do is you make a decision. Because the biggest mistake that they often do is they want to figure it out first before they move forward. Like, oh, who is the right person? What's the money? How am I going to make it? La, la, la. Is it safe? Or am I crazy? So the most important thing is that you make a decision and a commitment before you figure it out. And it sounds so simple, and yeah, no, but I'm really, that's the most important piece. And once you make a decision, for example, like it was for me, was the decision, I'm going to do whatever it takes to love myself. For you, it might be, I'm going to do whatever it takes to create my own business. Or maybe for you, it's like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get my business to the next level, or to save my marriage. It doesn't matter where you are right now. You get to see, am I committed and ready to do it? And then you ask for help. Because here's the truth. And I'm not attached to people working with me necessarily, but I'm attached for them to understand that they cannot do it by themselves, period. Because if they would, first you wouldn't watch us, because you would have it all, you know, why would you spend the time right now with us, right? And also, especially for women, see, there's such an innate thing of, I have to do it myself. And they often feel like I'm the only one who struggles. No, if your car is broken, if your engine isn't working, or whatever is not working in your car, you take it to the mechanic, don't you?
Yeah.
So if your teeth, like you go to the dentist, you go to cut your hair to the hairdresser. Like, why would you think that the most complex, the most important being stuff is like that you can fix it yourself? Because you can't. So make a decision. Once you made the decision, there's this nice quote, you know, like, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And it's true. And then you put yourself out there and you see, hey, what is in my vortex, or what is in my energy field that resonates with me? And then you get started. You just get started.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The one step at a time. Now, I love you to talk about this, because, you know, I was at that point at this beach in Cambodia. It was just this light bulb, and I was like, this is it. I need to change. And from that point forward, I just kept going. And like you, I knew that we couldn't, you know, it's like you could read all the books in the world, but there's always, you know, there's always room for more, and the books don't take you to that level. So that's when I started investing in myself and my growth. Now, actually, I'm glad you mentioned energy, because that was going to be my next question. I mean, I know a lot about energy. Actually, my other company is named Only Atoms. I have an atom tattooed on my back, and I completely believe in the energy stuff. But I'm curious, can you tell people listening, you know, how do you work with people's energy, and why is this important to, you know, anything in your life that you want to create or transform, or, you know, bring to the world, or grow your business? Like, what is the energy thing all about?
Well, this is a big question. Not answer here quick. I'm going to say just a few things. Everything is energy. And when I say everything, I don't like, everything is energy, every thought, every emotion, every pattern. Like, you have an energy field if you believe it or not, but it's just what it is. Like, everything is energy. So you are constantly influenced by it, and you are constantly influencing. So in a sense, is if you do not know about your energy and how to manage energy and how to shift energy, you are always going to be a victim of what's hitting you. And you are not even aware of how you are creating. You are creating everything. The life that you experience right now is your own creation. if you like it or not, right? I mean, in the good and the bad, because a lot of it is created unconsciously. You don't wake up in the morning saying, oh my God, today I'm going to judge myself. I'm going to totally sabotage myself. I'm not going to go and do this, and I'm going to feel miserable at the end of the day. You don't wake up with that conscious intention, right? I mean, no one does that. However, how many days does that happen? It's because something stronger that is on an energetical level driving it, and you are not aware of it. So that's just one thing, and it's so basic. It's such really only the surface of energy. But also from a perspective of, I'm going to just use one example, the inner critic, our inner critical voice. Even that is an energetical phenomenon, and it doesn't matter if you're not familiar with the chakra system, and I've shared anything about it. You don't need to know anything about this, but there is certain energy centers that operate in your system, and the inner critic has a particular spot in a particular chakra. And if you learn how to unhook and detach from that inner critical voice, and you connect to your higher self, you connect to the essence of who you really are, you connect to your soul, that's what creates the liberation. As an example, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I can talk about this for hours.
I know.
This is going to be a little bit of a nutshell about energy.
Yeah, no, I was getting chills because I was like, oh, I could totally talk about this. And, I actually recently, I have these conversations with my higher self, trying to make more and more connection. And I recently had this new breakthrough, and I was just like, oh my God, this work is so powerful. And I love that you talk about the chakra system, because, I like to assume everybody watching believes in this and understands it and knows it, but I know they don't, not everybody. So, if you're listening, you don't get it, look at Sonia's work, contact Sonia, because it really is so real. And I agree, even my own boyfriend recently said to me, he actually works with energy for a living. And he's like, there's beliefs that we create in the weather. And I was like, well, I just went, I went to a retreat for 2 weeks and the weather was perfect. It was near perfect. And I was like, well, I created that. I mean, who knows, but.
Yeah, but it doesn't even matter if you get it or
not.
You just want to see what resonates with you. And if you're watching and you are already into energy work, great, you can take it to the next level. And if this is completely new to you, it's like, oh, what? It doesn't. Just see what resonates with you, because there's always something. You're watching and listening to this for a reason. And what I always invite people to do, to be open to receive what they're meant to hear just in this very moment.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. Now, can you talk a little bit more about your free gift that's in today's email, and everybody just clicks the link, they'll get it? I know it's a self-love meditation, but can you explain a little bit more about it?
Absolutely. It's a wonderful meditation. So it's a guided self-love meditation. It's called My Gift of Love, and it starts with a poem that I got channeled at some point. A book was created. And the beauty of this meditation is that it carries a higher frequency of love. It carries a higher frequency in consciousness, and it helps you to connect and to create and develop a deeper self-love within yourself. So if you struggle with self-love, it's great. And if you do have already a level of self-love and you want to take it to the next level, it's fantastic. What I recommend to do always, because some people listen to it lying down and there are certain ways. However, from an energetical perspective, what you want to create is a vertical alignment, because that's how you actually come into a higher vibration and you unhook from the drama and the fear and the doubts and all of that. So you want to definitely listen to that meditation sitting up straight in any way that works for you. And I also recommend to listen to it for 21 days in a row, every day. And that's already most people, oh yeah. If you don't have commitment with anything you do, it's not going to happen. But this meditation is one of the most favorite meditations of my clients, and it's life transformational. It can. I promise it's going to happen to you. But don't just, and I know there's so much good stuff out there. I mean, it's so easy to get overwhelmed, what I'm going to do. And if you choose this meditation or something else that you're getting in this, see if it resonates with you. Set a commitment to take 20 minutes in the morning or whenever, but I think in the morning is great because it's the day, to shift your energy, to connect to yourself, to spend quality time with yourself. And when you get that free gift, it's on mygiftoflove.net, you also get a 21-day challenge sheet. So it helps. And it also gives you a script of the poem, because it's very powerful to even just read that if you don't know.
Wow, this is beautiful. Thank you so much. No, it's actually one of the first things I prescribe to my clients is meditation. And I, depending on what they're going through, I send them different kinds. And I agree with you. I usually do 30 to 40 days of the same thing over and over, because it literally changes your vibration. I mean, I have a, like an abundance meditation that I'm like, you guys try this, because crazy stuff starts happening. I mean, to me, it's not crazy. It's how we're naturally, how the world is. But this really works. And I do agree. Self-love meditations are so powerful. And, this is how I manifested the love of my life. Just, X number of months ago, was really just coming into that trueness of self-love. So, and then of course, abundance and every success, everything else grows with it. So definitely everybody download that. It's in today's email. You can click the link. And Sonia, I could talk to you for hours about the energy stuff, because this is actually one of my favorite things to discuss, even though I'm a business coach. But thank you so much. And can you tell people a little bit more about where to find you online?
Yeah, the best way to connect with me is on Facebook. I do also have a Monday show called Soul Infused Monday. That's a weekly live broadcast that you can join me on Facebook every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And I share a lot about energy. I teach a lot. So that's the best way to connect with me, and also through my self-love meditation. And I just want to say something when you said that you manifested the love of your life. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, and it just gave me the chills, because I felt, I manifested the love of my life too in me first.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's like, if you are not in love with yourself, enjoyed spending time with you, why would anyone else? No client, no man.
Exactly.
Whatever. So
you're right. I definitely manifested self-love first, because I remember there was a point where I was like, wow, I'm feeling it consistently, not just like one day here, one day there. It was really consistent for a while. And I just knew, I could feel it in my bones. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, my love is probably coming, but I don't even care. It was very, and I agree. That's why I'm so glad you're teaching this, because so many people get it all backwards, and I think people are realizing.
I have total compassion. It's not an easy thing. Yeah. So you're not alone. You're totally capable of doing it. You're totally worth it. It's just by you being in existence enough. However, you get to do the inner work, because inner work works.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for being with us, Sonia. I love your work. And everybody, be sure to click the link and get your free self-love meditation. And let us know what you think. Connect with Sonia on Facebook and follow us tomorrow. We're going to have more interviews on the True Path Entrepreneur. Thanks so much.